Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Laurel Dessau, and I will be your host for today. Today's session is about transforming your data into action with TIBCO Connected Intelligence, and this will be presented by Mr. Bashar Khalil, who is Vice President and Head of Global Pre-Sales for Bahuan Cybertech TIBCO. As I welcome Bashar on board and invite him to kickstart the webinar, let me share a little bit more about this presenter. Mr. Khalil boasts more than 14 years digital technology and transformation experience, enabling global organizations to reach their digital destinations through large technology transformation projects. His knowledge as a proficient leader in digital architecture and cloud transformation has enabled customers to define and design future modern enterprise frameworks and architectures covering latest cloud and hybrid deployment patterns and technologies. Bashar has worked with customers on extensive projects, transforming enterprise into agile and high-performing businesses by focusing on core-to-edge innovation, microservices, DevOps, and cloud-native architectures over and above the latest digital transformation solutions, where he has engaged with the largest enterprises in the Middle East, North Africa, and Greater India region across various industries. Bashar, it is a pleasure to have you with us today, and we look forward to your webinar. Just a little housekeeping before we hand over to Mr. Khalil. The webinar will be approximately 45 minutes to 1 hour long. If you have any questions during the presentations, please type them into the question box in your Zoom control panel. As the moderator, I will be more than happy to bring them up during the session, and we will also have time for questions at the end of the presentation. I kindly request you all to keep your microphones muted while the session is in progress to avoid any background distractions. So, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time to turn your data into action. Over to you, Bashar.
Thank you, L'Oreal. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you all for your attendance, and I hope you're all and your families are all safe. It's a true pleasure for me today to present to all of you and talk about TIBCO's Connected Intelligence and how it can help you to transform your data into actions and how it can help you to manage the end-to-end data journey. I'll just start with the disclaimer slide that I have to put. Next, L'Oreal. Okay, so just a quick and brief introduction about TIBCO as a company. TIBCO has been working with more than thousands of customers for more than 20 years around the globe who rely on TIBCO platform to build one of the most amazing experiences. We work with our customers across different industries, like telcos, banks, manufacturers, pharmaceuticals, which is a hot industry today, where TIBCO really works with many, 8 of the top 10 pharmaceuticals to accelerate drug discovery and to improve the manufacturing, quality, process, and planning for the whole manufacturing cycle. And this is the beauty of the TIBCO platform, that it's applicable to all kinds of industries and applicable to all kinds of problems. Next slide, yeah. So I think today the question is not about shall we plan to digitally transform or not, as I believe everyone today is doing it, and there is literally no escape from it. In fact, I truly believe, I was actually discussing that with one of my friends lately, and he told me that COVID-19 is probably the last nail in the coffin of the physical world. And it's all about virtual digital world powered by technologies today. And in fact, the question today is how can I become a digital leader and not a digital laggard who are trying but failing with their digital transformation journey? This slide really depicts a recent Harvard study, and I encourage you all to go through that study, that compares between those digital leaders and digital laggers. And it clearly highlights that digital divide between both of them in terms of the revenue the operating profit growth and return to shareholder growth, that digital leaders are able to deliver more to their organizations. 5 times revenue growth, 8 times operating profit growth, 2 times return to shareholder growth. And when you look at it, you might think that the digital leaders, they have more money, they're spending more money on technology. But what's interesting really about this slide, which is not actually shown here in this study, is that the technology spend of digital leaders is only slightly higher than the digital laggards. On average, it's around 3.5 to 3.2% of the revenues. So both of them are spending the same amount of money into technologies, but some of them are leading in their digital transformation. They're able to deliver a better customer experience and delight their customers. They're able to optimize their operations by implementing solutions like predictive maintenance for their assets, remote diagnosis for their equipment, which is very critical at this time, to be able to manage their end-to-end supply chain journey, have a real-time visibility over their inventory. And most importantly, those digital leaders are able to deliver more innovation when it's really needed. Today, for example, telcos, they have to be able to launch new packages that enables and powers working from home or education from home, literally anything from home. Banking, they need to really work more and more on their digital channels, on their digital services, and think of new ways how they can deliver new experiences for their customers during these unprecedented times that we're living in, like contactless payments, banking from home, and many, many other services. So, and I really think, Laurie, if you can move to the next slide, please. And I really think that those digital leaders will be able to deliver more safer experience, which is very much needed today. And I think many customers, including myself, I probably would compromise on the overall experience just to get a safer experience. So imagine if you're going to a bank and you're just going bypassing that bank, and the bank detects that you are close to their branch, and they immediately send you a notification to the app and tell you, Mr. Bashar, we're sorry, but to ensure social distancing, we have enough people in our branch now. Go to our next branch, which is only 4 minutes away. So that's phenomenal safer experience. And I think safer experience will be one of the new buzzwords that we will hear more and more, even more than omni-channel experience, because I think this is what's critical these days. So you get this notification from the bank, and they give you the location of the other branch. But that doesn't mean, like, if you implement the right technology, the right platform, that doesn't mean that if you want to deliver safer experience that you need to compromise on the overall experience. So the bank can actually, Laura, if you can click, please. The bank can actually give you that safer experience, but give you that message and tell you, by the way, your Uber ride is on us. So this is what I really think the digital leaders will be able to even lead in these unprecedented times and deliver not only great customer experience, but a safer experience, which is pretty much needed today. So what's really the question today is what digital leaders are doing differently, why they're leading, and why we have digital laggards. What's really the secret? And as this slide is showing, and to simply put, data is the secret. Digital leaders are able to really approach those digital opportunities with a different strategic mindset. And that reflects on the different operating models that they are executing, relying more and more on data. Data is the key. They have a comprehensive data acquisition, data management, and data analytics strategy that differentiates them from their competitors based on their data platform. And what this means is, if you manage to do this, it means that the business users of those organizations are more likely to have access to a consistent set of up-to-date metrics that they need for their daily decision makings. And those organizations will be able to generate predictions about their business from that data that they are collecting on a daily basis. So in a nutshell, and really relating it to the topic of this session, they are able to transform the data, the huge data that they have, to predictions effectively, to better customer experiences, to better operation optimization, and to ultimately to innovation. In fact, as I was putting this slide, I was thinking of this two words, digital leaders and digital laggers. I think today we should call them data leaders and data laggers. So really, data is the new battlefield, and it's crystal clear situation that organizations' future depends on how quickly and efficiently we can really tap on the power of the data and how we innovate, collaborate, and grow. Okay, so we know the secret for the digital leaders. Let's look at why the digital laggers are lagging behind. What's the problem with the data and how they are managing the data? It's really because of data disparity. Loria, if you can click, please. It's because of data disparity, where data is mined in disparate silos. It's actually mined. So enable for these organizations, for them to be able to extract that data from this disparate solutions and fragmented solutions and systems that they have. It's just like gold mining, or probably today we should say Bitcoin mining. It's very difficult. It's very hard. And even after they do that, data is inconsistent, it's fragmented, there are multiple duplicates, they cannot rely on it, which as a result, it undermines the quality of decisions across the whole company. It's just become, very difficult to make any decision that would bring a positive outcome. It will increase the risk, reduce the security, because we don't know who's owning this data and who's accessing it and where did it come from. Eventually it's going to reduce the whole efficiency and drive the IT cost up. So and we can, as I said, so digital laggers are trying, but they're failing, and they probably have done multiple attempts, but it's just they don't have that comprehensive a platform that allow them to exploit the benefits of the data and truly treat it as a strategical asset. Ariel, if we can move to the next one, please.
Before you continue, so all participants, if I can ask you to remain on mute, please, so that we can avoid background distractions. Sorry, Vijaya, if I can ask you to please put yourself on mute. Thank you. Please go ahead,
Thank you, Loria. Thank you, Loria. Okay, so data leaders, data laggers, they have all kinds of issues with the data. So how to solve this problem? What's the secret formula to get the best out of our data? And if we really come to think about this problem, it's truly an impossible one. Just if you try to really close your eyes, like every one of us try to imagine our organizations, the different systems that we have, the different applications, on-premise, on cloud, hybrid, different databases, the different users, the different reports I need to generate, the different governance I need to put in. It's very challenging, and it's literally an impossible problem. But luckily, as we all know, there is always a solution for everything. And sometimes the solutions are much simpler than the problems themselves. And we truly believe that the solution for this impossible problem is very simple, and it lies in 3 core steps. First thing is to be able to connect to the data. So we need a platform that helps us to connect to our data wherever is this data. Is it on premise, on ground, on the cloud, under the water if we have submersible pumps or drilling machines, it's on IoT devices. I need to be able to get and mine and extract all these data at real time, in batch, in all kinds of patterns. That's the first important step that we need to achieve. So that's I need a platform that can help me with that. Then after I connect and get all of this data, I need to be able to ensure that this data is unified, is trusted, is governed. It's consistent. It ensures the security policies that allows only like the needed people to access the data that they are eligible to access. So I need a platform that can help me to be able to unify the data that I have connected. Now, once I've done that, this is where I reach to the third step, which is the augment and predict step, to be able to look at the data that I have connected and that's managed and that's trusted, and to be able to extract these insights at batch or at real time and be able to take real-time actions and decisions based on these data that I have connected to and that I have managed. So it's very simple 3 steps that's the solution for this impossible program, and to really transform data laggers and digital laggers to become digital leaders and data leaders. So we need that comprehensive platform that helps us in implementing these 3 steps. Let's look what's that platform looks like. In TIBCO, this is all what we do, literally. In TIBCO, we only do these 3 simple things. We help you to connect, we help you to unify your data, ensure it's governed, it's consistent, it's a data that you can trust, you can use to deliver critical decisions, and we help you to analyze and extract insights from this data and to be able to deliver predictions at real time. This is all what we do. So and we call that combined platform that gives you these abilities to connect and unify and predict TIBCO Connected Intelligence platform. And the beauty of this platform is that, as I said before, you cannot rely on connectivity only, you cannot rely on intelligence only. Those 2 things have to be blended together so you can really deliver that anticipated value, and that helps you to transform and take informed actions on every single event that's happening in your organization, that helps you to optimize your customer experience, that helps you to optimize your operations, and that helps you to really drive innovation. Next, Lorian. And I'm just going to take one example on how this is really relevant to every organization, especially today, as we're all going through this COVID-19 situation. We've been talking to many government officials on how to deliver a countrywide real-time situational awareness using this TIBCO Connected Intelligence platform. So if you look at the connectivity, for these government officials, it's very important to be able to get all kinds of data from all the critical organizations. That really helps me to flatten the curve of COVID and give you real-time visibility of what's really happening. So the connect capability of TIBCO will help those officials to connect to healthcare institutions. It will give me all the data that I need to know: how many beds are available, what are the medical equipments and resources are available. I can connect to different government entities and health authorities and police departments. I can connect to telcos where it's important to as well use the telco's capability to track and trace subscribers through their networks, to be able to track the COVID patients and their close people. It's very important as we go beyond the COVID-19 situation to be able to connect to critical institutions that we all care about, like our schools and universities, and to be able to get real-time alerts and situations of what's happening there. So that's really what that Connect platform can help us to do, to connect to literally everything and everything in real time. And once I bring all of this data, I can then unify it using the unified platform of TIBCO, make sure that it's a consistent, it's a clean data, it's a data that I can rely on, there are no duplicates, and then I will use this data to really have real-time visibility of all the cases. have real-time ability to manage the crowds in the different situations, in shops, in airports, and in offices, because now I have real-time visibility of of what's happening. I'll be able to literally analyze the outbreak hotspots and predict where there could be other outbreaks in other areas at real time. And most importantly, I will be able to analyze and predict the medical equipment's availability and the availability of hospitals. So based on the case, its location, I know where I need to move that patient to which hospital. So this is really what a platform like the TIBCO Connected Intelligence platform can deliver to organizations. And if I want to drill down into, and just briefly, because I can literally spend hours and hours on this slide, if I want to really drill, just talk a bit about the capabilities of this platform. So if I take the first segment, which is the connect, this is where we have all the ability and capabilities to help you to get that data that's spread around in the different systems of records that you have, manage it, orchestrate it, and apply workflows and apply API management on top of it. So we're talking about messaging for guaranteed delivery and reliable delivery of messaging, core integration and microservices platform, business process management and low-code applications, and most importantly, API management. In this world today, it's all about APIs. So it's very important to be able to participate into this API world and to be able to manage and expose our own APIs as well. So all of that, all of these capabilities is available in our Connect portfolio of the TIBCO platform. Then moving to the Unify segment. And this is where it's really becoming exciting in our platform. TIBCO, we've been doing lots of investment in this area. We've done very crucial 2 acquisitions lately for data virtualization and data management. And these are two things that I'll be highlighting during this presentation. But probably I'll talk a bit about data virtualization, which is very crucial today, that allows us to access data virtually. It's just like how we're all now virtually connecting. We don't need to go physically to our offices to access things. This is what data virtualization delivers. It helps us to access the data from the data sources that we have without the need to move it to a staging or to a central database that I can use for my reporting later on, because that's time consuming. It takes so much time to do that. So data virtualization is an absolute critical capability that I'm literally finding huge interest with every discussion I have with our great customers and partners. And then we have obviously the data management. So data management, it's very critical piece. We recently acquired we acquired Orchestra, one of the leading data management firms, and this technology helps us to do all kinds of data management, for reference data management, for metadata data management, and master data management. So it's a quite powerful Unify segment that helps us to unify all the data that I have connected in the first portfolio. And on top, and this is where all the intelligence and cleverness happens, this is where we talk about our augment and predict segments. So we deliver capabilities around streaming analytics. We connect to real-time data sources from drilling machines, submersible pumps, IoT devices, and manufacturing equipment, and give you real-time visibility of all trading data, and give you real-time visibility of what's really happening. Self-service analytics with TIBCO Spotfire, one of the leading analytics platform that not only delivers simple, sophisticated analytics capabilities, but a very comprehensive one with geolocation analytics, with their streaming BI. Is very, very powerful platform that I'll touch upon shortly. And then the data science piece that gives us the ability to model and govern our data science models that we can operationalize with this whole ecosystem. So it's a very powerful platform that combines connectivity, unification of data, and augmentation and predictions. But what's really different in the TIBCO story is that you seamlessly can combine all of these capabilities together, so you can deliver very powerful solutions. And the beauty with the whole platform, it's cloud native. For example, if I talk about the connectivity, I can create my microservices once, for example, or my integration flow once, and then deploy it on-premise on virtual machines, deploy it to container orchestration platforms, whether it's on-premise or on a private cloud or on public cloud, or even deploy it to TIBCO's iPaaS. So the same service, which is a very, very unique innovation. And it's very important these days to have that cloud nativeness and give you that flexibility and freedom to choose where you want to deploy your workloads without any constraints and without any lockdown in a certain roadmap or a certain technology. It's an open platform, so we are continuously investing in open source and embracing open source. We are launching our own open source projects like TIBCO Flogo. We are embracing Kafka, Apache Pulsar, Spark. So we are more and more embracing the open source technologies. And everything that we do, we're working on embedding AI as a core foundation in the different platforms. For example, our analytics platform, it has AI embedded in it, in the sense that as a user, as you're selecting the different data columns that you need to visualize, it recommends to you the best dashboard or the best visualization that you can use in your analysis.
Sorry, are we allowed to ask questions?
If we can just hold the questions until the end, no problem at all.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arwa. And one critical point really to highlight here is that the TIBCO platform, TIBCO has been known in its neutrality and its openness. When we, like 20 years back, we were talking about we're neutral in terms of where we can deploy our stuff on virtual machines or physical cores or any operating system, working with any database. But this is, so we're still maintaining that, but today this is all changing. We're talking about neutrality in terms of where you want to deploy this to any cloud. If you want to deploy to private clouds or public clouds, or you want to have a hybrid deployments, control what you want to maintain on premise and what you want to push to the cloud, and have that freedom and that flexibility. So this is really the new norm. This is the new neutrality. And this is how we can help you to maintain your digital sovereignty. You don't need to be locked down with one public or private cloud offering that locks you on, and you get all kind of this hidden subscription charges here and there. It's literally that's the power of the TIBCO platform, is to maintain your digital sovereignty, to give you full flexibility where you want to deploy your workloads and utilize every single investment that you have done along the way.